रागिजनानुगामी
कालं नयेदखिलम् इति उपदेशसारम्
तालं
कालं
नयेदखिलम् इति उपदेशसारम्
नयेदखिलमित्युपदेशसारम्
तन्नामरूपचरितादिसुकीर्तनानु
तन्नामरूपचरित्रादिसुकीर्तनानि
तन्नामरूपचरितादिसुकीर्तनानि
मृत्यो क्रमेण रसना मनसि नियोज्य
स्मृत्यो कर्मेण रसना
मनसि
मनसि
नियोज्य
नियोज्य
तिष्ठन् व्रजे तदनुरागिजनानुगामी
तिष्ठन् व्रजे तदनुरागी जनानुगामी
तिष्ठन्व्रजेतदनुरागिजनानुगामी
कालं नयेदखिलमिति उपदेशसारम्
कालं नयेदखिलम् इति उपदेशसारम्
कालमयेदखिलमित्युपदेशसारम्
It's a very beautiful, very melodious verse. Actually, we should remember these verses. Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtinam. Tannama, that means your name, Rupa, form, Charita, character, Sukirtinam. So I should always chant Smrityo, remember. Kramena, gradually, Rasana, so it goes like that. Yes, Ujjwal Proof, translation.
The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Vraja, Golok Vrindavan Dham, and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps the One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotion service. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in chanting and remembering Lord's name, form, activities, and all. And in this way, one should reside in Golok Vrindavan, that is Vraja, Vrindavan Dham. So, how many of you are ready for this? How many are ready for? Huh? My Saitya Prabhu is ready. 24 hours we have to give up all the other engagements. 24 by 7, we have to chant the holy name and reside in Vrindavan Dham. So, how many think it is possible for us? Here, the instruction is also coming from Rupa Goswami. So, what to do? We should follow or we should not follow? Yes, anyone? 7 by 24 also not possible. Then what to do? Instructions. The verse is only like that. Today's discussion is about this only. One should utilize his full time, 24 hours a day. If somebody is student, then he has to give up studies. Chant, remember the Lord whole day, and he has to go to Vrindavan also. So he can't manage his college and all. And also, if somebody is doing
Hare
job,
Krishna,
then he has to. Oh, yes,
Dhanurta.
that
See,
is.
I think chanting and reading is not only devotional service. हम जो भी करते हैं अगर हम वो भगवान को ऑफर करेंगे तो वो डिवोशनल सर्विस में आ जाएगा.
Okay, but here too, Rupa Goswami is telling to go to Vrindavan. One should reside in Vrindavan also, under and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees.
Prabhu, wherever we are, but our mind has to be in Vrindavan by serving devotees, Guru.
We do it for Krishna. If we do everything for Krishna, then it is Krishna consciousness every time.
Okay, if we serve Krishna, then it is Krishna. Before that, somebody said,
Prabhu, wherever we are, whatever position we are in, if our mind is in Vrindavan, then we can be like that, Prabhu.
yeah, exactly. So all answers are correct. Basically, wherever, if our mind is always there in the lotus feet of the Lord, then in that way, wherever we are, it doesn't matter. Srila Prabhupada left Vrindavan and went to all over the world. He traveled. So Prabhupada could have, he was there also in Radha Damodar. There was a room also which was given to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was very nicely there writing books. He could have just chanted and gone back to God. But then he took Vrindavan all over the world. Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani, the Swantasthena Gadavrata. So he took he made all the places into places of pilgrimage, holy places. He turned every place into Vrindavan. So yeah, so this is correct. All of you told that is correct. Anybody has any other answer? Complete silence. Yes. So yeah, surely. Especially in our stage, it's not possible. Neither we are qualified that much. Even if somebody tells, even if all obligations go away, and someone tells, okay, you now go to Vrindavan and go to Vrindavan 24 by 7, you engage in the service of the Lord, and that's it, chant, dance, and like that. So even if we have the time, we don't have any other obligations, still we are not qualified to do that. So even Prabhupada time, some disciples thought, oh, we can just stay in Vrindavan, chant, dance, and like that. They wanted to go to some Babaji's and take some mantra and all 24 hours chant. But actually, it is not so possible like that because we are conditioned. So you see that when Rupa Goswami is telling here, actually is really telling that we should go to 24 by. It's not that there is some other meaning. Rupa Goswami is actually telling that we should go to Vrindavan and 24 by 7 we should engage ourselves in chanting the holy names, remembering the Lord and His activities. We should do that. But that we are not on that stage. If you see the nectar of instruction, it is starting with the verse of which verse it is starting? Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jivva vegam, udarupastha vegam. So first step is we have to do all this homework. We can't directly jump to the 8th verse. So after doing that, so here Rupa Goswami is telling this stage, but that is not the first stage. Somebody reads this and he may say, this is what Rupa Goswami wants from me. Let me go and stay in Vrindavan. But we will fall down after going there. So we can actually, it is said we should not stay there for more than 3 days because we may commit offenses and then that may become an obstacle in our spiritual lives. Especially the new people, they should not stay more days in Vrindavan. But if somebody has that kind of mood, devotion, and he is now under the guidance of Guru and all, then he can actually be there more time also. So one can actually come to this platform if he has done the homework. First, all the first 7 verses he has imbibed in his life, then he can come to this stage. So as we discussed from the beginning, that nectar of instruction is coming gradually to the pure devotion. So we are not on this platform, we are just going through the verses, but we are not reached that platform. But at least we should know that what is the level where I have to reach, what is my current level, and where I am struggling now. But I need to reach to these platforms slowly. So Prabhupada was actually, Prabhupada utilized that. Prabhupada wanted to take Vrindavan everywhere. But in our current scenario, we are not even that qualified also. First we have to do our homework about the Vachovegam Manasu Krodha Vedam and then giving up all the Janasangasa Lolam, all the unwanted association we have to give up. Dadati Pratigrinati, we have to develop relationship with devotees, do exchanges, loving exchanges. And slowly we'll come to that platform. And after the coming to that platform also, so Prabhupada was on that platform. Then he started going everywhere and he created Vrindavan like that. So in our sense, when we see these verses, we have to understand that this is the level I need to reach. So I may not be currently on this level, but I have to reach to this at one point of time. Okay. Let us read the purport. So Prabhupada is giving now more practical what is applicable for all of us. Yes, Agam Prabhu. First paragraph.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Since the mind may be one's enemy or one's friend, one has to train the mind to become his friend. The Krishna consciousness movement is specially meant for training the mind to be always engaged in Krishna's business. The mind contains hundreds and thousands of impressions, not only of this life, but also of many, many lives of the past. These impressions sometimes come in contact with one another and produce contradictory pictures. In this way, the mind's function can become dangerous for a conditioned soul. Students of psychologies are aware of mind's various psychological changes. In Bhagavad Gita 8.6, it is said,
So here we'll discuss this. So here it is said about the mind. So Prabhupada is not telling, okay, go and chant the 24 rounds, because he knows that we are struggling with our mind only. Currently our mind is only not controlled. So Prabhupada is telling about how mind can be one's enemy or friend, and it has to be trained to be always engaged in Krishna's business. So this we have to, and why? Because the mind contains hundreds and thousands of impressions, not only of this life but many lifetimes. Like sometimes we see that even if we want to, sometimes when we go to Dham, especially Vrindavan, Mayapur, at one point of time we feel that, oh, this is the life. I just completely dedicate myself and then go and just practice this Krishna consciousness, nothing else, no other, and the material desires, nothing. But suddenly the next moment some desire comes and we are struggling with that. And sometimes we forget also all the spiritual activities or some Krishna consciousness what we did. So we are like pendulum. Sometimes we are here, sometimes here. So we are going like that. So the why it is happening, because the mind is very much uncontrolled at current state. Sometimes the mind gets very, because what happens is sometimes we want to go on a right path, but the mind has already got some wrong impression from the path, from even before coming to Krishna consciousness or even from the previous lives also. So those impressions will keep coming in between. So it is said that when we practice Krishna consciousness, all the impurities which we have, that settles down. Like a lake is there, no? So lake from top it looks very good, and all the impurities are settled down because it's peaceful lake. But suddenly if you put one stone, immediately the impurities will come up. All the mud, dirt, everything will come up and it will surface around the lake. And then one may say, how this lake was so clean, now it has become so impure. No, it was impure only, the impurities are not totally gone. It was just settled down, and whenever some desires come or some agitation comes, immediately it pops up, it comes up. So that is our situation. So our impurities are still there. Sometimes it may, when we go to Dham, we get association of many devotees. So it settles down. We think that, oh, now I have become pure devotee. I don't have to worry at all. And suddenly we realize after some days that I am not on that level. The impurities keep coming. The lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, pride, these things keep coming. Or if there was one Brahman was there. He was having too much. He used to what we say do Gayatri exactly on time. So there are Gayatri we have to do on certain times. So morning he used to get up and used to do. He never missed it, and he was very proud that I am doing Gayatri on time. So as soon as it will be afternoon 12, he will be doing that. Evening he will be exactly finishing. So he became very proud. So Maya Devi catches. So everything was going nicely, but then pride increased. All the anathas were, in one sense, got little down, but this was the one. Then one day, what happened? He slept at 11:40 or something, and he put alarm of 11:55. He thought, I will get up in 15 minutes. 12 o'clock, I will do Gayatri. He was very into that. But what happened is, that day, I think something happened. He couldn't put the alarm, or the alarm when he was putting something, it didn't start only. It didn't become on. So the 11:55 there was no alarm. 11:56, 57. Suddenly Maya Devi comes and wakes him up. And then he gets up and he says, time, oh, it's 12. Then he takes his Gayatri and he does Gayatri, and he was proud that, oh, I could do it. So anyone can tell why Maya Devi woke him up?
to make him
Yes.
proud.
Yes.
Yeah. Maya Devi is always watching. Okay, if otherwise he will miss, then he will become proud. His pride will be crushed. Maya Devi wanted to maintain his anarthas. She says, okay, wake me up. And so that's how, in one sense, we see we should not be proud of anything. And if we become proud, the Maya also, she encourages in that way also. So that's how it's so one has to take care of all the aspects, and especially one has to always remain humble. That is the best position. Whether you are advanced Actually, the more we advance, the more we understand that I am nothing. So that is real advancement. So we should never think that I am I am very great or something. So we should always consider ourselves to be this. So mind has many impressions, and that has come not only from this life but many past lives also. And now what is the why we visit dhams? Actually, when we visit dham, no. So because there are so many negative impressions we have got, so when we go to dham, we get lot of positive impressions. That's why that is one of the purpose why we visit holy dhams. Because when we go there, we visit each of the acharya samadhis. We go to the place of birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or the pastimes where Krishna has personally performed certain pastimes in some places. So when we go to that place, that impression actually comes. That spiritual impressions comes in our mind. So currently our mind is filled with many material impressions. So to exchange those impressions, we have to increase spiritual impressions. Like I remember my first Vrindavan Yatra when it was my first year of Krishna consciousness. I think so. Before that, hardly anything going to Vrindavan and all. Never even thought about. But as soon as came in association of devotees, never even went out of the some city where I was living and all. But as soon as coming in association of devotees, suddenly they said we are going to Vrindavan after just practicing of 6 months and all. So I thought, oh, let us go. Anyway, all devotees are going. I also went, and that was, I think, that was the first yatra, but it was the most memorable. And I think the consciousness that time I had, it was also because first time visiting Vrindavan, first time performing Govardhan Parikrama, and being there, everything looked like a spiritual world also. And even the hearing from the our seniors who were guiding. So later, but so this that kind of mood should be there always. So then the longing remains. Okay, I have to visit the dhams. So now also that spiritual impression is there. That not that time I went the and the chanting we did. The Puri also same thing. Jagannath Puri first time I went. No? The kind of chanting we did and the intensely because we heard so much pastimes of Jagannath Puri that oh if you go to this dham, even the walking is considered to be a that also benefit. And if somebody is sleeping in Jagannath Puri, that is considered offering obeisances to Lord Jagannath. So in that way, it was. So one thing when we are doing, even every step is what is a dance, every talk is a song. So like that, it's a spiritual word. So then so much was about hearing also happened, and then when we were there with the devotees association, so it becomes so all those impressions come. Even last I think 20 to 3 years back, first time of course we go to Mayapur, Navdeep and all. So 3 years back I even went to with our some of the devotee friends, and one senior devotee was also there. So we only just 7-8 of us. We went to the places of Acharyas in the Ekachakra Dham also we went, Nityananda Prabhu's birthplace. And there are many places actually in Bengal. There is a place of this Srinivas Acharya, many Acharyas, Narottam Das Thakur, the Gauridas Pandit, and like that. So many Acharyas places are there, and we used to go Lochan Das Thakur, and we had discussion about the various Acharyas also. So still that memory is very fresh. Whenever the disappearance comes, immediately that particular place we remember. Similarly, Govardhan also. There are some places where Krishna took lunch with his cowherd boys and all, and the footprints are still there on the rocks. So now also that footprints are visible, like that impression is there. So similarly, so this is how so many material impressions will be there, and that also comes in between. But if we can replace these impressions with the spiritual impressions by giving such kind of experiences to our own mind, like going to the holy dhams, or especially with the devotees, we should visit with devotees. Because alone when we go, then there are chances that because alone means there is nobody to guide, there is nobody to tell the glories of the dham. So first thing we should do is we should hear. So as soon as we enter some dham, first thing is we should hear about the dham glories. And then with that consciousness, with that vision, we can see the entire dham also very spiritually. That is very important. So this is how all the material impressions should be replaced with spiritual impressions. And then it becomes a wonderful thing. So now we will go ahead with the next paragraph. Next devotee can read. Who is this? Kuldipru, you can read. Last time, those who didn't read, because every time we start with A, B, C, D like that. So some didn't get chance to read. So those who did not read last Sunday, we will give them chance, I think.
Harishramji. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body.
The verse also.
Yeah. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tvajanti antakalevaram tam tam eveti kaunteya sada tat bhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. At the time of death, the mind and intelligence of a living entity create the subtle form of a certain type of body for the next life. If the mind suddenly thinks of something not very congenial, one has to take a corresponding birth in the next life. On the other hand, if one can think of Krishna at the time of death, he can be transferred to the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan. This process of transmigration is very subtle. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami advises devotees to train their minds in order that they will be unable to remember anything other than Krishna. Similarly, the tongue should be trained to speak only of Krishna and to taste only Krishna Prasad. Srila
Yes.
Rupa Goswami. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. So one should train the mind to always engage in Krishna consciousness. And here, if the mind suddenly thinks of something, one has to take corresponding birth again. So mind has to be under control. Sometimes mind just goes here and there. Even if we want to think of Krishna, it goes to material objects and sense gratification and tries to contemplate on it. So immediately we should be able to bring back the mind, engage in the spiritual activities. Yeah, so this process is actually Rupa Goswami is advising that devotees train their mind in order that they will be unable to remember anything other than Krishna. This is very important. So this can not happen directly when the death is coming and you can't just remember. The entire life should be practiced in that way. So here when, like many of you said, when it is at 24 hours, we should chant and remember the Lord. So basically, at least 2 hours when we chant, we should remember the Lord. That is the first thing. And then rest of the time, whatever activities we are doing, we should do those activities for the pleasure of the Lord. So then it becomes the perfect. Otherwise, we are doing some activities in the daytime. We are into different material things, and suddenly when we chant, same things will continue even while chanting also. So whatever is our duty, our studies, or it may be our work or whatever, the goal of, like yesterday one devotee, I think Ujjwal Pro was only asking, how to remember Krishna while studying, he was saying. So I said it's not going to happen that you study and when you are writing some mathematical equation in between you write Krishna. 1 plus 1 equal to Krishna 2 something, and that is not going to happen. So you cannot it's not that while doing coding also, you are doing coding and in between you add Krishna words. Here, the spiritual it will be perfect, but material you will not get the result. So basically, remembering Krishna means that you should remember that I am doing these studies for the pleasure of the Lord, or I am doing this job for the pleasure of the Lord. Because I have to sustain in this world, so I am just doing some activities, and that are all I am doing so that my Krishna consciousness will be saved, and I will nicely, peacefully, I can practice my spiritual life. So that is the goal. Like even Arjuna, he was fighting. So it's not that fighting in between he was remembering Krishna. But he understood that this fighting is going to please Lord Krishna. So in that way he fought. The entire, from beginning to end, he was fighting. In the back of the mind, he was always having that this is what Krishna wants and I am going to do that. Similarly, our activities should be like that. So this is how we should train our mind. Like even, like sometimes devotees take prasadam also. So in Mayapura I saw devotees ask, prasadam paya kya? Like that they will ask. Prasadam paya. That means, did you receive, like, not that you would get prasadam or something. Paya means basically you receive prasadam or not. So we are always in the mode of what you say, like beggars. We want to, we cannot take anything ourselves, but somebody gives, then we get it like that. So that should be our mood, and also that. Yeah, so that should be our mood always. So the mind should be trained in that way, that always Krishna remembrance is there. Any activity, anything we are doing, we should think that this is how it will please the Lord. Like one devotee, one day he was serving the prasadam. He said, Prabhuji chapati prasadam, Prabhuji rice prasadam. Prabhuji, sabji prasadam. So even some sweet also was, sweet rice prasadam. So then no, this then it was it means even by speaking the words, it was giving the remembrance. Oh, it is Krishna prasad. I may take some selected items, sweet rice, pakoda, but it's pakoda prasadam. So that is offered to Lord, and that I am taking. So in that way, everything gets connected to Krishna. So that all depends on our consciousness. So anything we are doing, we have to uh, remember that I am doing this activity for the pleasure of the Lord. Then it is a proper remembrance. Or yeah, so whenever we go to any place, so we always, even the great souls, they carry deities with them. We should at least carry some photo of Krishna. So when we travel also, in train also, like Radheshampur always he has the entire altar. So we keep it in one place and then we chant the holy name. Because otherwise the train, the atmosphere is with tamaguna. All the people are sleeping and hardly, but once sometimes Pro used to sprinkle water also on the seat and then just mop it with some cloth and then we sit, and we should have a cloth also which we keep on the seat and we can sit there and chant our rooms. And then you keep Krishna altar also there. And then we can, in the morning we chant our own rounds, our own self. People are all sleeping that time. Then by 7:30, then we chant Mangalarti. And then all people they are into ignorance, like they are not having any activity, just either looking from the window, or somebody is eating something, somebody is drinking chai and all. Suddenly they see, oh, something is so vibrant, so active. What is this? And they all people come. What is going on? Then they see devotees are doing Mangalarti. Mangalarti, Susyarati, Narasimha. Sometimes devotees dance ups in that passage is there. No? There only the Jai Prabhupada, that time dancing also happens. So in that way, even while traveling, one can be Krishna conscious. So of course, when this can be possible when you have devotees around. When you are alone only, then it becomes little challenging. Alone also can do. At least two people can do. One person becomes little challenging. But if more number is there, that becomes even more better. So this is about the mind, and then Satyam Pro. Similarly,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Similarly, the tongue should be trained to speak only of Krishna and to taste only Krishna Prasad. Srila Rupa Goswami further advises Tishthan Raje, one should live in Vrindavan and any part of Brajbhumi. Brajbhumi, or the land of Vrindavan, is supposed to be 84 koshas in the area. One kosh is equal to 2 square miles. When one makes Vrindavan his residence, he should take shelter of an advanced devotee there. In this way, one should always think of Krishna and his pastime. This is further elucidated, elucidated by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
yeah. So here Prabhupada is saying, when one makes Vrindavan his residence, he should take shelter of an advanced devotee there. So that means not just going to the dham and just do our own things, go here and there. We should actually take shelter of the pure devotee there. We should hear from him. We should follow his instructions while even living in dham, because we cannot directly approach Radha and Krishna. So we need Guru, we need devotees who can help us. And in case they say, no, it's not good for you to go to Vrindavan, we can just stay back. Or somebody says, like once it happened, Srila Prabhupada, when he wanted to build this Krishna Balram Mandir, that time all devotees, there were some devotees who came first time to Vrindavan, and they thought, oh, Vrindavan I have come, I will just chant, dance, and I will chant extra rounds, I will go different temples and everything I will do. He has so many desires and he came. Of course, spiritual desire only. With that he came. But we have to understand that even if spiritual desire is there, but if spiritual master wants me to do something, then that is higher than my so-called definition of spiritual things. So real advancement in spiritual life means one should actually follow the superiors. Whatever they say, he is ready to follow that. So then this devotee, when he went to Vrindavan, Prabhupada needed devotees. Now Krishna Balram temple has to be built. So then Prabhupada said that your service today onwards is counting cement bags. And this devotee was shocked. Prabhupada, this is the purpose for which I came to Vrindavan. Prabhupada, yeah, he said, count cement bags. This is only your, what do you say? This is only your bhajan. This is only your bhajan here. So, and initially it was difficult for him, but later he understood that this is not an ordinary thing. Assisting pure devotee of the Lord, that is much greater than just trying to find Krishna in the bushes of Vrindavan, going here, there. That way we are not going to find Krishna. But if you just follow the order of the Supreme Spiritual Master, then Krishna will look, oh, who is this devotee? That's sincere. So he will come, and once even Prabhupada told also that of course we go visit different places, but that is not that we go for yatra and that things. We don't give up the service and go. Like sometimes this Kartik Yatra happens where there are sometimes 10,000 devotees come. Now this time Govardhan it is there. So if so there will be around 10,000 devotees come, almost 1,000 devotees will be serving in the background, and they don't go to any of the places because there has to be cooking has to be done from morning 3 o'clock. Cooking starts, then the serving team is there. They have to serve prasadam. So some of them they take the buses, some of them miss the buses, and then afternoon before everybody reach the pandal, all the again cooking has to be done, lunch, and there has to be almost 100 devotees are required to serve prasadam because there will be around uh, there will be 8 items and 8 different this will be there, what is it, the serving tables and all. So many devotees are required. So 8 into 8, how much it is? 64. But almost total transferring people and all 100 to 150 people are required. So like that we see that so somehow some devotees have to sacrifice, but they receive a lot of mercy also because they are letting other devotees go and take darshan. So they also receive from the that much mercy from the Lord. So this is how we should. So we should, when we go to Dham, we should be in the mood of service. When service comes, then we should attend to it. No, no, that I want to go there. Service somebody else can do. I will go and do something. So that is, if we have time, then we should go. If service is there, we can do that, or we can ask directly our superior. Prabhuji, let us know what you want me to do. Should I chant or should I do this or should I? So that decision has to be taken. Basically, whatever pleases the spiritual master, that should be done. Like there was one, I told many times this story also. There was one this devotee. He wanted to chant. He said, "I want to chant 192 rounds. I want to follow Haridas Thakur." And they said, "Arey, first follow Prabhupada. Prabhupada says 16 rounds. You follow Prabhupada." See now, Prabhupada has already given his blessings to me. And this devotee was chanting, and everybody said, "Do some service." As soon as service comes, he will show his bead bag. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. He'll chant more loudly. And then the devotees thought, okay, let him chant. And then they were doing other things. They said, "Oh, Prabhuji, your rounds are completed. Can you do this service?" He said, "No, no, so much rounds are pending." Haridas Thakur also neglected, prostitute. He is following that in the service thing. He said, "My rounds are remaining. I have to complete that." Then he was completing. And then sometimes he used to sit on the rock chanting whole day like that. And devotees, once Prabhupada came to the temple and Prabhupada was giving the class and he was telling, somebody asked question also, "Can we chant more rounds and all?" And Prabhupada said, "You chant 16 rounds and rest of the time you engage in service of the Lord." And then Prabhupada went. Then the devotee said, "Hey, see, Prabhupada told rest of the time you should engage in services. You do some Prabhupada book reading also, you do sadhana and everything." He said, "Oh, that is for all of you. You all are neophyte, no? So that's why Prabhupada is advising all of you. I am on a very high level. I can chant whole day." That is what is here. You can see in the verse also it is telling, no? 24 hours, so he quoted like this and he said, "I can chant like that." And some devotees actually thought that, okay, maybe he is that position. He may already reached that level. So, okay, let him be. So sometimes he will be here, there, different places chanting. One day he was missing. Nobody was knowing where he went. And people were searching, "Hey, where is this Babaji Maharaj? Chanting 190 rounds, not visible now." So they thought maybe he has become so advanced, might have gone to Vrindavan, settled, Radha Kund is chanting bhajan like that. So, or might be gone back to Godhead. Nobody knew anything about him. So then suddenly, so one day devotees went for book distribution. That's what Prabhupada wanted also, no? And not that only take care of ourselves, Prabhupada wanted us to preach also. So the devotees were following. They went to bus party, they were distributing books. On the way night, they were tired, they were coming back. They thought to put petrol in the vehicle. So they went petrol, and the person, they said, "Okay, make the complete full full petrol you can fill in the vehicle. And suddenly that person, when he looked at that petrol pump person, he was the Babaji Maharaj. When I was chanting 190 rounds before. So then this devotee immediately recognized him. Hey, you are the same. How you are here? And your dhoti kota, everything changed. Now you are in pant shirt and this. What has happened? He said, actually now I'm got married. I have some responsibility. I have to take care of the family. I have to do some earning. So now I'm doing this job side by side like that. He said, oh, but what about your 192 rounds? You used to chant and you were actually on that level. What happened to that? He said, oh, that one. He said, actually, currently I'm not able to chant because I already completed my chanting in that time, whatever was there. So currently I'm engaged in these activities. So 190 round, now I'm not able to chant even single round also. So this is how one, if somebody tries to make or manipulate the instruction of Acharya as a spiritual master, then he cannot progress much. Then the fall down will happen like this. So that's why one has to be very attentive from the beginning. So be under the shelter of an advanced devotee. This is very much required. When we are under the shelter of advanced devotee, then it is proper. Otherwise, our mind will create problems. Yeah, yesterday, one devotee was telling also. I heard about from Chetan Charan also. Says GPS is then God's. Sorry, what is the GPS long form? GPS we use for going to different destinations.
Positioning system only.
Which positioning system?
I think it is
Geographical.
geo
Geography.
positioning system or Google positioning. I think it is geo positioning system.
Yeah, geo position systems. Wherever geographical locations, we can reach to that place. So then, so actually, he said our. So what happened? So our Chetan Chandra was telling that GPS is like God position system. It is for us. It's like when you are going by GPS, if you forget to take a route or instead of down you went on the flyover, then your destination was supposed to come from down some other place. But because you went to the flyover, what will happen? What will happen to GPS now?
It's reroute. It
Will
is route.
show alternate route.
Yeah, it will show the alternate route and again you come to the destination. So similarly, God positioning system is like that. When we are in spiritual path, if we divert, then again Krishna will show the right path. Okay, now we are diverted, no problem. But again he will show destination by arranging some devotees and all, and we come to that particular point. So Lord is so merciful that even if we go little divert here and there, still He will bring us to the point only if we are sincere, and so that is very much required. And also this GPS, when we follow GPS, there has to be internet connection. If connection is proper, then only GPS will show. So similarly, God's positioning system also, it will show when our connection is proper, our spiritual connection. So connection to the spiritual master, connection to the Supreme Lord. When that is proper, then we get proper guidance to reach to the destination. Even if some mistake happens, some challenges come, we go here and there. But again, by the association of devotees, because of the instruction of the spiritual master, we again come. But somebody disconnects that spiritual instruction only, or he says, no, I want to follow my own things, no spiritual master, no. Then the God positioning system, it cannot guide him. Then he goes into headlong wrong direction. That's it. Then he has missed the destination. So that's why it is important to follow this. Okay, now let us recite this verse. कृष्णं स्मरन् जनं चास्य प्रेष्ठं नीच संहितं तत्तत् कथा रतश्चासौ कुर्याद् वासं व्रजे सदा. Yes, Satyam Patel.
Yes, please. A devotee should always reside in the transcendental realm of Braja and always engage in Krishnam Smaranam Janam Kasya Preshtham, the remembrance of Sri Krishna and his beloved associate. By following in the footsteps of such associates and by entering under their eternal guidance, one can acquire an intense desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, so devotion should always reside in transcendental realm of Vaja and engage in remembrance of Lord and His devotees. So in that way we can go into it. And again Rupa Goswami states in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrahi tadbhava lipsuna karya vraja lokanusarataha. Yes, Shivaram Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhu, I can't speak. I'm outside, bro. Sorry.
Okay, okay. Then Shivasa Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. In the transcendental realm of Raja, one should serve the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, with a feeling similar to that of his associates, and one should place himself under the direct guidance of a particular associate of Krishna and should follow in his footsteps. This method is applicable both in the stage of sadhana, while in the spiritual practices executed while in the stage of bondage, and in the stage of sadhya, God realization, when one is a Siddha Purusha or spiritually perfect soul.
Yeah, so whatever stage it is, see everywhere Prabhupada and even the quotes which are being presented, everywhere it is said that one should place himself under the direct guidance of a particular associate of Krishna and should follow his footsteps. So for us it is associate of Krishna doesn't mean Yashoda or Nanda. At least first we have to start with our spiritual master. Then we can go ahead. Yes. Next, Saitya. Hey, you have to, here it will go from this.
Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur has commented as follows upon these verses. One who has not yet developed interest in Krishna consciousness should give up all material motives
Yeah.
motives and try his mind by following the progressive
Regulatory principles.
reg- mind following the regulatory principles, namely chanting and remembering Krishna and his name, form, qualities, pastimes, and so forth. In this way, after developing a taste for such things, one should try to live in Vrindavan and pass his time constantly remembering Krishna's name, fame, pastimes, and qualities under the direction and protection of an expert devotee. This is the sum and substance of all instructions regarding the cultivation of devotional service.
Yeah. One who has not developed interest. So Prabhupada is telling that in this way, after developing a taste for such things, then he should try to live in Vrindavan and pass his time in remembering the Lord, pastimes and all. So first we have to develop a taste for Nam, chanting of the holy name. His name comes first. Nama Rupa Guna Lila. First comes name. First we have to develop taste for chanting. When this we reach to the Namabha stage and all, then we should develop for the form, pastimes, qualities, and then of course this will be simultaneously also it will go on. But first it starts with chanting of the holy names. And then finally when you have taste for all this, of course pure devotee will never say that I have got taste for all this. So, but then we can try to live in Vrindavan, Prabhupada is saying. But we see that Srila Prabhupada's mood is not just staying at Vrindavan, but giving everybody chance to come to Vrindavan. So we go so we go to different, even this, Prabhupada said that my temples are Vaikuntha, the Vaikunthas. It's a spiritual embassy where you get visa to go to the spiritual world. Or so entry is there for that. So like you see that if we are to go to America, then the America embassy, if you go, it is in India only. But if you go there, everything, the people are American, the things, everything is like that made. But actually, so, but it's not America, it's just embassy of America, which is in India. And then through that you get a visa and then you can go to actual country. So similarly, Prabhupada said that our all the temples, they are actually like Vaikuntha Lokas or Golok Vrindavan. And once you go there, everything is like Golok Vrindavan only. Chanting is going on, worshipping the Lord, service to the Lord, everything is going on, same activities. And after going here, you become more advanced, and then you can go to the actual Golok Vrindavan also. So in that way, the advancement happens. So this is how. So we have to develop taste for all that. And I say that so many Prabhupada disciples, even Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, actually he could have left in Vrindavan his body because he had cancer also. 2005 he left this world, and you can see the last times even these acharyas, even this current acharyas also we should read their biographies, how they left their bodies. So Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, he was. When he used to sing kirtan, he used to cry tears. While there are videos where he's crying also and he's singing, or sometimes he has mic because the bodily there are so many what to say, the pain is happening all over the body, and still he is giving class and he's singing kirtan. So once he's singing kirtan, and in the when devotees are reciting, that time he's crying, tears are coming. How many of you have seen that video? It's very famous video also.
I have seen.
Yeah. So yeah, many devotees have seen. So he's singing, he's crying, and after he's crying, and that is happening. So you can see that, and even in that stage, when there is so much pain all over the body, he is giving Krishna Katha, and he said also, Prabhupada is calling me. Maybe there is Prabhupada Tamal Krishna Maharaj also came to his dream. He said, "Come, let us go now. Next destination to assist Prabhupada in his next mission, some other place, some other universe, some other planet." So they were ready for that, and we see that, and he purposefully did not. Devotee said also, anyway, cancer was there. It was known that let us go and stay there. But he said that I will leave the Gita Nagari. That is the place where he left his body. He wanted to teach to the entire world that it's not that one has to actually go to Vrindavan and leave his body. Any place, if devotees are all around chanting and leave that place, if you leave, that is actually like Vrindavan, and you are hearing the names. All the devotees actually, even His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was beside only. Almost 1 month, Maharaj was there with him. The last 1 month before his departure, and all his disciples, everybody was there chanting the holy names, doing kirtans, dancing. Even there is one place where all the Maharajas had come, all different Maharajas, Prabhupada disciples came. They had very nice festivals and everything. And recently also there was, I think, some years completion. So again there was a program in Gita Nagari. And we see there are so many such disciples of Prabhupada. Like Janani Vasco is there in Mayapur. He never, even 40 years he was there in Mayapur only, because he said Prabhupada gave the instruction that I should be the, now also he head pujari for the Radha Madhav deities and all. So worshipping the Lord, so his pujari is just continuing like that. So one instruction, so many the Prabhupada disciples have taken, and they are just fulfilling those instructions to their best of the capacity. So we should follow these devotees. We should follow their footsteps, and then we see that our life also becomes perfect. So we should die on the battle. Bhakti Jaru Swami Maharaj, he gave, before leaving the body, he gave a lecture that die on the battlefield. We should die on that, and he actually did that. He went to America for preaching purpose. There he got COVID, but at least he was, the what he was speaking in the class, he was speaking about that only. That we should not just worry about us. We should. The whole world is going in direction. Like somebody asked Prabhupada, no, Prabhupada, why are you using plane flights? You are a sadhu. Why you are using the flight and all to go from one place to another? Prabhupada said, the whole world is going in the speed of plane to the hell. If I don't catch to their speed, then how can I save them? That's why I also have to take it, and I have to reach them. Otherwise, if I walk and go, then 38 days, like Prabhupada initially had to go like that. But if we go like that, then the preaching would not have happened. That is the mode of our acharyas. Okay, any questions? 2-3 minutes are remaining. The remaining section we can take in the next class. Yeah, I'll just. Okay, so no questions. So we'll end our discussion here. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki
Yeah.
jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.